Hey guys, Shaco here with a video with some tips on how to play versus Shaco. If you were to ask players what their most hated champions were in this game, chances are you would hear Shaco's name quite a lot. And the reason why Shaco is so hated is because he is quite difficult to play versus and also very frustrating to face. This video will equip you with some tools to better deal with that pesky demon jester. The first tip, and probably the most important one that I can tell you, is to start at your top side buff. The reason for this is because Shacos like to invade you at your second buff, and if you are at your top side when they invade you, then it is hard for your team to defend you. However, if you are at your bottom buff by the time Shaco wants to invade you, then firstly, chances are he's going to miss you because he's going to try and invade you at your top side buff and you're not going to be there. Or if he does come to you at the bottom side, you can get good help from your bot lane and your support, which is much better at providing assistance than your top lane. The second tip is to be acutely aware of when your buffs are respawning and to take them away as soon as they do. It is not uncommon for Shacos to try and invade and steal away buffs when you're playing versus them, so you have to be hyper vigilant to make sure that that doesn't happen. The next tip, which is something which may sound a bit surprising, do not be afraid to actually invade and counter jungle the Shaco yourself. The reason why this is often quite a successful tactic is because they are so focused on invading and counter jungling you that they often do not put appropriate resources into defending their own jungle, making it quite easy for you to take away. The next piece of advice is to save your smite for whenever you are fighting Shaco. The reason why you want to save your smite is because you can use it on his boxes, and it is absolutely critical that you kill his boxes as soon as possible. If you leave them unchecked, then a rank 1 box doing its full damage will do over 300 damage to you. In comparison, a rank 1 Shiv will do about 50 damage to you. Killing these boxes instantly with smite will not only save you the CC, it will save you all that massive damage as well and drastically increase your chances of being able to fight him 1v1. Next up is a point about vision. Now for some reason people seem to believe that it is really difficult to ward against a Shaco, to the extent that people often don't ward at all and just accept their defeat. Now this really couldn't be further from the truth. The only thing different about warding against a Shaco is that you want to prioritize wards over walls, because that's often where Shaco will gank you from. In certain bushes, pink wards can be very useful because they will see Shaco as he is deceived over a wall and is traveling through that bush to gank you. And of course, as always, keep your eyes peeled for that puff of smoke that appears whenever Shaco has used his deceive in the fog of war. This can be especially important if you have warded a jungle entrance and that you have seen Shaco pass through that ward towards your general location, but you don't know specifically where he is. If you know his overall area, then you can just check that area for the puff of smoke. As soon as you see it, you back off. Next up, as a general rule of thumb, you don't want to be fighting Shaco in a 1v1 situation whenever he has his clone out. Not only is it hard for you to identify which Shaco is the real one, which one you should be focusing first, but also it's easy for him to apply his backstab passive, and he'll be doing obviously a lot of damage to you with that clone, especially if he has any on hit items, because the clone applies those as well. During the lane phase, it's no secret that Shaco is a very heavy gank orientated jungler. It's also no secret that he is extremely slippery thanks to his deceive, but that comes with the fact that he is also extremely fragile too. When you combine all of those points, Shaco becomes a prime target for you to counter gank, because if he engages with his deceive, then he won't have it up to run away. And also Shacos tend to not run flash either, preferring exhaust or ignite. If you can execute a good counter gank onto him, chances are he is going to die and you're going to win that 2v2. And the final piece of advice I want to give you about playing versus Shaco is to not overexert yourself in the early game. You don't need to dominate a Shaco, you just need to survive him. If you can come out of that lane phase relatively equal with him, then chances are you have set your team up for a good position to win that game. And that's all for the advice I want to give about playing versus Shaco. I understand he's an extremely frustrating champion to play versus, but hopefully this video can help a little bit with that. If you want to see some more of my educational videos, then you can click some of the links on the screen now, and it will take you to some different stuff where you can learn some different things. But thanks very much for watching this video. If you want to follow me, you can find me on Facebook and Twitter. You can catch me streaming on Twitch as well. All of those things are in the description, guys. But like I say, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you in my next video.